Well, happy Saturday morning, everybody out there in the crafty world. Hope everybody is having a wonderful start to their day. We got a couple friends in the chat already. Hello to Barbara and Mary. We got our West Coast team out there coming from California and Washington, and Catherine, I'm so sorry, in Portland. Really got all the West Coast friends. And I give y'all so much credit because I know it is 8 a.m. out there. And when it was 8 a.m. over here, I was scrambling and die cutting and all the things. So give y'all lots of credit. And I hope that you're enjoying a nice cup of coffee, easing into your morning. Hopefully this Saturday doesn't involve any sort of work. Fingers crossed. I mean, there's always a little bit of work, even if it's not in an office. Housework, kitchen work, all the works, I suppose. Hello, Barbara. Well, thank you all so much for being here. Hello, Tiffany. I just got sidetracked. My den is right off of our patio, and it's our only entrance and exit to go outside to our home into the backyard. And every once in a while there'll be like a squirrel, or there'll be a bunny, and it's just like, oh, not shiny things, but cute fuzzy things. So, hello Tiffany and hello Maria. We've got another Midwesterner with Tiffany here. Hello, just one state north of me, and then another West Coast friend in Maria. So, hello. My goodness, y'all, it has been, my gosh, it has felt like a very long week. I'm very happy and excited to be here going live with y'all. Mary's got her second cup. I haven't had my first yet. I was gonna get one to have with my coffee or with my live stream today. And then I was like, you know what? First coffee of the day, maybe we'll wait until afterwards. I've been awake for a little bit, so I should be okay, but that's all right. Hello, Lori. So, oh my goodness, so many friends in the chat. Y'all are so wonderful. So, thank you all so very much for being here. I appreciate all of you. I know I kind of had to pivot some time. We had an appointment come up this afternoon that conflicted with my live, so I just wanted to kind of bump it a little earlier because, in my opinion, it's better to go live a little early than what we usually do than not at all, right? So, yes. So, Tiffany already knows what is up. We have a brand new waffle flower release to play with today. I love this release. I've been a fan of Waffle Flower for quite some time, and I feel like recently I've just like been deepening my love for all of their products. When I saw this collection, I didn't know what to like pick that I wanted, to be honest, because there are so many fun things. So if you haven't seen already, and I do have products linked down below, the brand new release is called Green Thumb, and it is all about gardening. And it truly, like everything gardening, like it's so multifaceted in different areas of gardening, ways that you can decorate your cards to have a gardening flair to it. So much fun. And oh my gosh, I am so excited to create with y'all today using it. I've pulled in, I think we're using 4 products, one of which is technically a bundle. So we're going to play around with that. I do have everything linked below. I wanted to let you all know I'm starting something a little new. I'm using a new affiliate program with my links. So I'm hoping it's easier for y'all to navigate and use. I also have a pin comment in the chat from me that's got the link for all today's products. Also, if you have not placed your Waffle Flower release order yet, do know that orders of $50 or more are getting a free square postage stencil. It is the Pansy stencil, which is exclusive for this release. It's super cute. So make sure if you haven't shopped the Waffle Flower release yet, you get that $50 in so you can at least get your free stencil because it's adorable. And we all know how much Waffle Flower just nails it when it comes to postage. So, all right. Oh, you deserve them all. Catherine, you are so sweet. Oh my goodness. And we've got Denise here too. Thank you guys for being here. Tiffany, you're going to be excited because we're playing with a gnome today. So we're going to have some gnome fun. I absolutely adore these gnomes. So we're going to play with that. We're going to make what I like to call a collage background. And I'm going to switch my camera down. I know I've been chatting for a little bit. And let's start getting into some crafting. So, all right, camera down. I've got my grip mat ready to go. But what I want to show you guys is I've prepared all of the die cuts for today. And I'm going to show you the 2 die sets that we're going to be using. So I am pulling in first the gardening add-on dies. This is part of actually the Postage collection. And this is, I don't know the quantity of dies because it is a lot, but it's got all of these different fun gardening tools and even gardening critters that you can use to add on to any of your projects. It works so well with all of the products. I knew this was an absolute must when I saw it, because I knew no matter what I picked, I was going to need it. And what I love about it is when you flip it over on the back, Waffle Flower is so wonderful in using their packaging to show you how everything gets put together. So here you can see we've got a hose. I told myself in advance I was going to research the name of all of these tools, and I did not do it. And so y'all are going to have to just deal with Justin's made up names for gardening tools. And I'm also giving y'all free reign. Feel free to correct me in the chat. No offense will be taken. And we're just going to teach it as take it as an educational. Oh my gosh, I'm just like bumbling over my words. It's going to be an educational experience for everyone. So this Postage collection gardening add-on dies, we're going to be using this. It's when we're going to make what I'm calling a collage background, which is basically layering all of these images together on one flat background to sort of make our own decorative paper, but with die cuts. In addition to that, because I know Tiffany already kind of clocked me on it, or already kind of spoiled it with us. Not spoiled it, I spoiled it. Tiffany just said she loves them. We are using the new Happy Gnomes dies. And there are not as many dies in here because Waffle Flower is also so wonderful that when it comes to their dies, they know how to bundle them together. So you don't have to die cut as much. Like they've got the shirts and the hats together for both sizes of the gnomes, both sizes of the shoes, the pants, and I know there's a couple other dies up here. And then when you flip it over, it sort of tells you how everything gets put together. And I just think that they are so stinking cute. Oh my goodness. Kristen, you are A-okay. Good morning and thank you for being here. Helping your son move into his new apartment. Okay. That is more important. Is it more exciting than crafting? Yeah, probably that too. But thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Oh, and then Mary says she loves the Waffle Flower postage stamp series too. I'm hoping for some Christmas holiday postage stamps and dies. I have no idea what is in the woodwork, but I can't imagine that there's not going to be some festiveness coming our way. Fingers crossed, at least, right? I'm always holding out for Halloween. Halloween is like my favorite crafting holiday, so I'm really hoping we get some good Halloween product in. But even if we don't, maybe it'll be good fall products. I love those warm fall colors. And you know what? I can turn it into Halloween. I will make it work. You give me leaves, I'll make them spooky leaves, or give me regular pumpkins, we'll make them jack-o'-lanterns. That's the whole thing about being crafty, right? So if you guys haven't yet already, make sure to like the video. I appreciate all your support. Thank you for being here. And if you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to the channel as well, just because we try to go live every Saturday, usually one, obviously not today, but that's okay. So what we're going to start with is I have some stack and sort trays with my die cuts ready to go. And I'm trying to be very careful to not put them too firmly onto my grip mat. And what these are, so these are from scrapbook.com. Scrapbook.com has two different sizes of their stack and sort trays. These are in the frost color. And they also have some silicone mat inserts that you can put inside of them. And they just sort of help keep your die cuts in place. Like if you look, I can go like this. They're not really moving around at all. Now, if I started really jiggling it, of course, but like I'm trying to be mindful, like just light movements, you know? And this just really helps keep all of your products nicely organized. So what I've done is I've put all of our Postage collection add-on dies in here that I've prepared. And we're just going to do some ink blending and talk about that. And then we're also going to prepare our large happy gnome for our set as well. So all of this is going to come together. It's going to be super cute. I'm so excited to put everything together. So, all right, let's see. Let's move on to these tools. And let's do a little bit of ink blending. And I tried to kind of layer everything so that we could see how everything is put together. And what I want to do is kind of blend by color. So let's start with our first cardstock. This is Sunkissed Coral. I'm using all Gina K Designs cardstocks today. Gina K has some of my favorite. And so Sunkissed Coral is the first color we're going to use. And let's go in. Let's do a little bit of ink blending. I should probably get all of my Catherine Pooler inks in order. I guess it probably would have made sense to also pull in Gina K inks, but you know what? I love my Catherine Pooler inks, and that's what we're doing today. All right, we'll get those ready to go. Put the rest of my inks off to the side. Let's see, is it within reach to get my little pad? Let's see. I have an ink pad holder that I might be able to use, but it's kind of buried a little bit. Here we go. So I think I could use that. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put our pad just like that. And then I'm going to go in with my red blending tool. These are the 1+ shaders. I'm using the white. These come in a 5-pack. But you can buy the colored pack as well, which I believe comes with 10 or 12. It might be 10. But they're really, really pretty. I just didn't use them today, and that's okay. I've got both of them, and it was just, I wasn't going to be using as many inks today, so I'm like, you know what? Let's just go with the white one, the white shader, 1+ shader brushes. So I'm just going to kind of go in, and I want to blend close to where the tool starts, like the actual, like not the handle, but the actual part of the tool. So I'm kind of blending in the center and then outwards. And I'm not worried about these little points on the shears because those are going to get covered in some dyes. And we're going to go right here, these little handles, and then just kind of blend the nozzle of our water bottle. Let's see. Someone got a good deal. They did they have a deal on these? I didn't know about that. Oh, the live stream deal. Okay, yes, I did see that. It's a really good deal. I love my stack and sort trays. They're just such a great way to stay organized. I own like over 20 of them, which is probably not a great way to be organized to have so many, but I love them. And they stack, so they don't really take up that much room. So don't judge me. No, you guys. We all know how when we find a product that we just love so much that we're like, okay, I'm just gonna buy this because this works really nicely for me, and that is one of them. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's do a little bit of cleaning. Now that is one thing when using these grip mats is you do want to make sure between colors to keep them nice and clean, just because it's really easy to accidentally transfer residual colors onto other different inks and different colored paper that maybe you don't intend to. Oh, they added 2 more sets? I need to look. Because maybe I need more. These stack and sort trays really are one of my favorites. I have a bundle linked in the comments of the large and small with the inserts. But you can also buy them individually. All right, so let's do the yellow. And I'm almost wondering if it would make sense to also blend the little gnome pieces as well. I'm going to say yes. Why not? Just because we're doing so much ink blending, why not truly do one tool at a time, right? So, all right, let's go in now. I'm going to take my yellow blending brush. Now, I am using Catching Rays, Catherine Pooler ink. Catching Rays is kind of like, you know that Crayola crayon color of like a mac and cheese? It gives me mac and cheese vibes, where it's like, it's kind of yellow, it's kind of orange. I probably could get away with using either blending brush, but here we are, we're using the yellow one, and that's fine. So I'm going to go in, just add our shading. And I chose kind of like just a standard color palette today of a red, yellow, blue, and green. I want to call that like, what, primary colors plus green? Like, I feel like they're the four most prominent colors, or the four most like basic elementary colors, however we want to put it. So I'm going with that, but we're going to add lots of gray, and we're also going to use a craft cardstock background because I wanted to kind of do something earthy. Also, being entirely transparent, I almost did a like teal background, or and I have been doing, if you guys were tuning in last week when we were doing our Altenew live stream, with that, oh my gosh, that Grand Dahlia card, I loved that card so much. I have been using like aquas as my background so much, lots of light blues, and I'm like, you know what? We're going to pivot. So we did orange last week, and this week is going to be craft cardstock, so a little bit more earthier. So just kind of going in and just sort of blend this up. We never judge our friends. Absolutely. All the crafty love here, right? Especially when it's like the stuff that we want to like enable our friends with, because like I'm sitting here being like, y'all need these stack and sort trays. I know that there's some other companies out there that have their own trays as well. I just really enjoy the way that the scrapbook.com ones work for me. I like the depth of the trays, and I also like that they come in two sizes because it makes it so much easier to kind of make sure that you're getting the size that's appropriate for your workspace. Like if you don't have a bunch of space, maybe you don't need the larger one, but the smaller one would work really nicely for you. Or maybe you work with a lot of bigger die cuts, and that makes it more appropriate for you to buy the larger stack and storage trays. Whatever works, right? Earthy is perfect for the garden theme. I agree, Tiffany. Absolutely. So I'm going to go in, just kind of blend up this gnome shirt. All right, so we got that. We'll start putting these back. I'm kind of trying to keep everything organized as best as I can, because that's just going to mean less guesswork for me when we start putting all of these pieces adhered together. Because we've got a lot of like assembly going on today, and that's okay. That is a-okay. I'm going to go back in. I've got this little gnome hat since we're going to kind of double up on getting all this taken care of. And I'm going to use, let's see, where is that Samba ink? I'm going to just kind of get this situated before I forget. Just kind of go in and blend. Da, da, da. I don't know about y'all. These little gnomes are just so cute. I couldn't resist but put one on the card today. I almost didn't. And I'm like, I think we need a little bit of a whimsical gnome fun. So that's what we did. Put that back. Awesome. Let's do a little cleanup and we'll move on to our next color. Let's see. And if anyone's got any questions along the way, make sure to let me know. I'd be happy to help. And like I said, everything is linked. So if there's anything that I'm working with today that y'all are interested in, be sure to grab it. We need to ask for more hat options for that gnome. Heather, that is a wonderful idea. Now, we will kind of show how these dies are made, and the way that the die is designed, I really don't know if we can do like smaller hat options. They could definitely do larger though, like if they did like a top hat. I think you could even, if you put like a little pom-pom, you could make it like a Santa hat if you wanted to. Whatever works, you know, but that would be so cute. So let's go in next. Let's do some green. So we used Sunkissed coral paper. That was the reddish, the light red coral colored paper. We also used it was Lemon Drop was the yellow cardstock that we used, and now I'm using some Jelly Bean Green. So we're gonna go in, and we're also gonna do the little pants of this guy, and I'm gonna use some Lime Rickey Catherine Pooler ink to blend these up. Now, with the handles, so there's two different types of shears, and there's like a long set and a shorter set. The short set's really easy to figure out what side goes where. The longer set is a little different, and what the difference is that one of the edges of the handles has a little bit of a curve to it, and that's the bottom. The blunt edge is the one that goes closer to the blade. So we're gonna blend from the blunt edge down, just like this. Just like that. Perfect. Just kind of keep going in. All right, and then we're gonna go from these little knobby ends down, just like that. Now, the one that's gonna take some time is all this gray that we're doing, but that's okay. That is a-okay to play with the gray. All right, going in, blend those up. And then for the pants, I'm just going to kind of go around. Because the bottom part of the pants, this is a layering die, it'll be covered up with his little shoes. So we're just going to kind of blend, blend, blend. Sometimes I need to do a better job cleaning my grip mat because it doesn't like fully grip the super small die cuts, and that's okay. That's a Justin problem. All right, and I'm putting my little die cuts back in a way that they're going to make it super easy for me to put everything together on the assembly end of it all. All right, last we're going to go in with some Fiesta Blue. And you know what, let's keep this covered while I'm working with my spray bottle, just like that. All right, so clean this up. And then Fiesta Blue, I adore this color so much. Catherine Pooler has some fantastic inks that are on both ends. They actually have like 4 collections now that I think about it, because I forgot about the metallics. We've got the Party collection, which is what we're using for most of our ink blending, but they also have a neutral collection and they have a spa collection on top of their metallic pigment colors. So lots of different options. I really like the Party line. That's kind of where I lean into the most. Catherine Pooler inks were the second ink line I invested in next to getting my Distress Oxide inks. And I've had these, gosh, for quite some time now. Some of these ink pads are going on 6-7 years old, which is totally okay because they're still alive and kicking. Just get your refills because you always want to have your ink refills. I always say in like a perfect world, we get so excited to add new ink colors and like new markers to our stash. And I always say like, you should really consider every time you buy a marker, every time you buy an ink pad, instead of buying a second marker or a second ink pad, buy the refill because you're going to need it, you know? And I feel like it's not as exciting because we all want to like grow our collection, but it's also like at some point we're going to have to go into maintenance mode, and then we're going to have to buy a bunch of like refills at one time, and then that feels like a not fun at all craft purchase. So I mean, I'd rather go like half fun all the time rather than like 100% fun and then 0 fun. It's all fun, let's be honest. Have the CP ink pads been doable? What, and I don't I'm so sorry, Heather, I'm not fully understanding. Been doable, what do you mean? Like, have they been, oh, durable, there we go, you're fine, my bad. Most of my ink pads have been pretty durable. I have had to replace a couple of them, mostly because of the way that I've utilized them. Some of them I've just they're foam pads, so foam isn't as durable as the felt pads, and I'm going to say that's probably for any stamp pad on the market. So I have not had an issue with Catherine Pooler ink pad specifically. Any issues that I've had beyond, like with other different foam pads that are also foam pads, I have not had unique issues with the Catherine Pooler line. So I would say yes. I've had a couple that I've like kind of I don't know. I've kind of used a little bit harshly, and I've had to replace because I ended up like tearing parts of the pad. But that's a just an issue. And I will also say that with foam pads, I feel like it's important to keep them juicy because I think that they could dry out a little easier if you don't have your refills. So I think that's important too. But it's the same that I would recommend. Like I know Concord and Ninth has foam pads. Simon Hurley with his new Stellar ink line. Most of it's like his same ink colors, same ink formula, but different ink pads. He introduced some new colors too. I would say it's kind of the same for all of them. Foam pads, they release color more than the felt pads, so they need to be replenished a little bit more, if that makes sense. All right, so I'm gonna put this away. I think I gotta do just a little bit of blending on this one just to kind of make sure it's nice and smooth as best as possible. There we go. Just gonna go in and do all that. Perfect. All right, we're getting somewhere. Now, we are also using these Catherine Puller inks. These are dye inks, and I'm using them on colored cardstock. I think that's important to point out because that's one of my tips that I like to share. Like, I think it's a great hack to use colored cardstock with dye inks because it doesn't require as many ink colors and saves you time and product. As opposed to like if we were doing this from white cardstock, there would be more vibrancy, there would be more shading, but it would take like 2 to 3 times as many ink colors. So I'm very happy using them this way. Tyler, I have mostly felt adding more foam now. Simon H has the Stellar inks. Yes, they do. He has them. I love them. I have like almost all of them. I have like 5 more before I have like the full 36 of the Stellar inks. I got them in steps this last time. So, all right. Now, let me just make sure that this is nice and dry because what we're going to do. Oh, I forgot to do his little shoes. Darn it, Justin. All right, let's go in and do his shoes. Just sort of pick that up. And then let's see, is there enough residual ink? I think so. Why not? See, sometimes I talk and I forget. It happens. But if anyone has any questions, just make sure to comment them below. All right. Now we're going to do all of these gray tools and all of these gray pieces. Oh my goodness. So the blue paper was sea glass. I said that the green paper was jelly bean green. This is soft stone. So it is a really light gray color. I think it's one of the lightest gray colors that Gina K offers in her collection. I know that there's a cardstock called Whisper. Whisper, I don't own Whisper, so I don't know if it's more of like an off-white or if it's like more gray, you know? Those are wee tiny shoes. They are little shoes. They're actually, though, not the smallest shoes in that die set. There are smaller ones. So, all right, let's go in. Faux. All right, let's do... Just trying to lay everything together to keep it all organized. Like I said, it's a lot of assembly today, a lot of die cutting, a lot of little work, but it's going to be so cute in the end and it's going to come together really nicely. All right. Just got to try to make sure that when I put these all back, I try to keep them all together. I really think that blending these die cuts is a fantastic way to ensure that you're getting those little details and just really making your images pop. All right, come on, let's push those down so they grip a little better. Those little pruners. I think these are like pruning shears. I don't know. Y'all, remember I said anything, if you want to correct me on whatever these tools may be, please do not hesitate. That is A-okay. All right, we're going to do that. I know that there's a couple other pieces, but we'll get to those in a little bit. We'll do those. We'll finish up the gnome altogether. All right, so let's go in. I think I'm going to try Hoodie ink, unless it's too dark, but we're going to see. Hello, Sean. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for being here. All right, let's see. Let's make sure this is okay. Yeah, this should be fine. Just kind of go in with this Hoodie ink. Hello, Pirate Lady. Hope you're having a good day. Thanks for being here. From Phoenix. Bet you it's warmer there than in the Chicago area, but it's warm here too. They're really cute small tools. And you know what? They're tiny, but when you start putting them on your card, they're not super small. They're a really nice size, and they work really nicely with the sizes of the different tools and the different die cuts that come with this collection. So they really complement it nicely. So I'm just kind of going to go in like this. Da, da, da. I agree. Simon has fantastic ink pads. So, so good. Sean, you bought the entire release. You've got good taste. You've got great taste. This is a fantastic release. The Ocean Wonders release last month was also just, my goodness, just one of my absolute favorites too. There was so much fun there. I just like, I don't know. I don't have like, I wish I had more time in the day to craft. Don't we all, because I feel like I would buy more. I just make sure I pick the things that I know I have the time. No, I don't. I don't. I try picking things that I know I'll work with, but it's like there's still stuff that I buy, and I'm like, it just waits to be loved, and it will get loved one day, as I tell myself. Oh, you're so sweet, Tiffany. Thank you. I'm sure you're like, I want to see what these gnomes are going to look like. I've got some fun tips too for the gnome. Because we're going to do a little bit of creative ink blending with him as well. And I want to kind of show what my take is on that. So I think that'll be fun. I should just give Waffle Flower all your money. Well, I don't know. I mean, you need to keep some of that, right? But I mean, I feel you though, Heather. I do. What they've been coming out with is just, oh my goodness. Their Postage collection, I just feel like has fully hit it out of the park and has become one of my favorite things in the entire crafting industry. I just think it is so clever and unique, and I adore the way that Waffle Flower has approached doing their stencils in general now, just with how wonderful they let it layer, and then they also have stencils and die cuts that coordinate. That is not where I wanted that. That's okay. It's going to get covered. Just too cute. The ocean theme last month, I didn't get any of those. Sometimes I have to tell myself that I have enough. LOL. You know what? And also, too, sometimes, like, you can get it later. Like, maybe it's great to, like, see all of this incredible product. And then maybe there's, like, a couple items that maybe sit for a while in your mind that you're like, you know what? I keep on thinking about this certain stencil, and I think I could use it. So I'm going to buy it now. Whatever works for you. But the only thing that stinks is like, I always do feel that there's an urgency of sense because like you don't want something to sell out and not get restocked or not get restocked for a long time. So you kind of got to weigh your options. Yes, Heather, totally innovative. Okay, so part of Chicago, I'm in the suburbs, so I won't take claim to being like a true Chicagoan. I live in the suburban area. I live in the town of Woodridge, which is a smaller town. We don't really have a lot necessarily going on in this town compared to other suburban towns, but I border right next to Naperville. So if you're familiar with the suburbs, you know that Naperville is like one of the big suburbs for Chicago. So we have a lot there that we can utilize. Oh, thank you so much, Liz. You know what? Gardening's not for everyone. I understand. I do understand. I thought, though, that this was so clever for a summer release. I mean, because it is very seasonally appropriate, but it's like, it's kind of niche, you know, but it's still like so freaking cute. So I love it. You lived in Elmhurst. Oh, you're not that far at all, Catherine. Elmhurst is very close by. There, just kind of putting all these little dies away, and then we're gonna work on ink blending more with our gnome. All right. I need to channel my inner Megan Andrew and get my spatula to get all of my little tools off here. I always forget to grab one. That's okay though. All right, we kind of put these all away. Oh, okay. So you are familiar with Naperville. You volunteered there. That is so cool. What a small world, right? Definitely. All right. I'm not putting these back as nicely as I stacked them originally, but I've done worse things. Oh, you're so kind, Liz. Thank you. We do some, through my work, some charitable work with different organizations in Naperville and the surrounding areas. So it's always nice to hear someone getting involved, regardless of where you are. It's just nice to have that familiarity. And hello, Sylvia. Thanks for being here. And then Liz lives in San Diego. It's been June gloom and in the high 60s. Liz, that sounds perfect. San Diego is like my favorite city. Like, not even kidding. I adore San Diego. All right, we're going to do a couple more bits of ink blending. We're going to do the body of the gnome. We're going to do his little beard. And we're going to do a little bit with his mustache. And then we got to layer and put everything together. Now, talking about his body. Now, maybe if I have one interesting notation. His body, do you remember the movie like Coneheads? That's what this reminds me of. Just because of like the color I chose for the cardstock and how like the base layering die is, it's just what it reminds me of. But oh my goodness. Heather, you're in San Diego too? I don't know. I love that weather. I just think San Diego is perfect. That's it's wonderful. Like I just absolutely adore it. We're gonna go in with some clay mask and just kind of lightly blend a couple areas of this gnome. Just kind of near his ear and down his cheek on one side. Also his hand right there. Because a lot of this is going to be left covered. Not a lot's going to be exposed. And I don't want to go in too heavy because that's how you start to kind of discolor and make it too dark. And I want to kind of play off the cardstock. This is barely there. So it's already got like a pink tinge to it. Like a fleshy tinge. And we're just going to run with it. All right, so just like that. So as you can see, really light blending. So that's clay mask. And then we're going to go in. Oh, wait, Josie. Oh, the crafting. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Lebanon, Ohio. Okay, so do we consider, I consider Ohio the Midwest. It's like the east of the Midwest. Does that make sense? All right, now we're going to go in and let's do a little bit of do-si-do. And I want to show how I add blush to the sky because I think that it's important. So we're going to go in, just kind of dab off a lot. I'm going in. Now this is a 0+ blender, so this is significantly smaller. These come in packs of 15. And I know his cheek is like over here. So I'm just going to kind of go in and add blush. And it's going to look kind of splotchy, but we're going to cover this up. So it's not going to look as splotchy, I promise. It looks like it at first. Definitely not clean ink blending. That's okay. So many comments. Y'all are so wonderful. Thank you all so much for being here today. So many wonderful friends. June gloom is so, like, it's so funny to hear someone phrase it that way. And it's like, but then it's like, oh, it's in the 60s. I'm like, I would love that weather. Oh my gosh. That is like my, like, I want to, like, and that's why I think San Diego is so perfect. Because that's like, Like, you could eat outside every day. You could crack your windows at night. You don't necessarily need to run your air conditioner. All the things, all my favorite things. All right, and we're also going to do a little bit of more ink blending with some grays. Let's go in. We're going to do some Twilight ink. Just like that. Oh, thank you so much, Liz. All right, so we're just going to kind of go and blend the edges. And once we're done with our blending, we're going to still do a little bit more with our inks. We have a little bit of stamping to do that I've got a fun way to show you how to do a sentiment. So I'm excited to show you guys that. So I won't put my ink all the way away. So just kind of blend this up. A little Hallmark town right outside of Cincinnati. How wonderful. Me and my husband went to Cincinnati a few years ago. We did a trip with with my in-laws. And I will tell you, okay, so Josie, you're probably going to be familiar with the area that I said. And I don't mean that any disrespect, just with my personal interest, it didn't really resonate with me too much. We went to Richmond, Indiana, because it's supposedly known for antiquing, and it was just a very interesting trip. And my husband and I decided to extend by a night. We went to downtown Cincinnati. Technically, though, we were in Kentucky, and we stayed at a hotel overnight just to kind of enjoy it. We ended up staying at I forget what the hotel was, but it was right on the river. And we just literally stayed in the hotel room, and they had a TV that had Netflix, and we just watched TV all night. We watched, oh my gosh, it's Fear Street. He just said from the other room. I was I knew one of them was 1983. There's the collection. It's a series of movies that all work together on Netflix called Fear Street, and there's 3 of them, and we watched through them. And that's what we watched, and we ordered in, I think, Thai food. We ordered in, I know it was Asian food. It was either Chinese or Thai food, and we just had a great time. So, anyways, that's my story, Josie. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, please, if you guys haven't already, make sure to like and subscribe. Like I said, I have been trying my absolute best to go live every Saturday at 1 o'clock. I know we're here earlier today. My mentality is that if I can't go live at 1, I try to find a better time that I can at least go live, period. If I have to cancel, though, I will. But that hasn't happened too much. I haven't skipped too many weeks. 1 in May for sure. All right, so now we're going into an assembly mode of things, and I think I can put away my grit mat. All right, put this here, get my little acetate sheets out. Just gonna kind of clean this up a little bit. We have friends coming over tomorrow, so I've got to get a lot of crafting done today, which is a-okay. We're going to do a taco bar at our house just because we like to kind of do fun little get-together hangouts that are food-themed. So, all right, so let's go in now and let's start putting our little tools together. So, lots of little pieces. We'll get there. Not worried about it. So with these shears, I'm going to say it's probably the most beneficial to ensure that you're putting the handles on first and then adhering the pieces together. It is nice to relax in a hotel. We had a really nice time. And then in the morning, we went to a diner for breakfast in downtown Cincinnati, and their thing was rubber ducks. So we were able to pick our own rubber ducks when we were leaving. So that was cute. And then we drove home. All right, so we've got this shear. So now we're just going to kind of sit and chat while I'm putting all these together. Because I know that this is kind of, maybe I could have prepared this a little bit better so we didn't have to assemble so many things, but we're going to make progress. And plus, this is also the best time to talk about little stories or if anyone's got any questions, just because we're kind of doing little busy work. But I do love Waffle flour makes it so easy to sort of know where all of these little pieces are supposed to go. And they do have, like I said, if you look at the back of that packaging, it'll show you where you're supposed to sort of adhere everything together. So I know that these kind of crisscross like that. So we've got like little shears. We're going to do the next set. Line of adhesive, line of adhesive. All right. And then we're going to go in. Isn't the tiny water bottle super cute? I agree. Oh, Liz, I'm sure that your food that you are able to get your hands on is probably better than what I'm putting together. Okay, so let's talk about my friend group. If you guys were here last week, you saw that my friend Melanie entered the chat. I don't know if she's going to stop by, but this doesn't necessarily apply to Melanie because Melanie is me, Melanie, and my husband are the only ones that don't have food restrictions. But my other friends in the group, we've got a vegetarian, and then we have another friend who is allergic to garlic and then also nuts. I know she's also allergic to like avocados and lentils. So and then her boyfriend is lactose intolerant. So when we get together to cook, we always try to find like food that the most of us can eat that no one really feels left out. And let me tell y'all, it is a challenge. But that is why I like to do Mexican food as like a taco bar of sorts, because people can build their own dishes. If you don't want to have cheese, because like for lactose, like you don't have to put cheese on. If you don't want to put meat on your tacos because you're a vegetarian, do that. And then my friend who's like nuts don't really make like much of an appearance when it comes to tacos. I just am going to make sure I found a recipe this morning. I'm going to do crockpot chicken taco meat. And I found a recipe and it does call for garlic. So I'm either going to just omit the garlic entirely or substitute it for like shallots because that's acceptable. But we do a good job. We do a good job. Has layering recipes for each set. If you look at the back of the packaging, yes, they do have how everything goes together. And then what's also great about waffle flour is when you're looking at the actual dies themselves, they are numbered and or lettered to show how they coordinate with the other dies. And if it can fit on there, they'll even say like base layer or something like that. So, waffle flour is wonderful with that. Yeah, I think so too, Liz. Probably omit the garlic. I tried to substitute garlic with shallots recently. I wasn't really a fan of how it transformed the flavor, so I think that's what we're gonna do. It's hard though. I love my garlic. Oh my goodness. I love garlic all the time. Oh, a baked potato bar. That's a good idea. See, the only thing is we try to come up with things that are like meals, because like usually like this is our big meal of the day, but then also too we like to plan things that are food that we can go back to, because oftentimes we'll just like sit at the kitchen table and talk for a couple hours, and we like to like go up and get food and like replenish our plates. So like anything that can also go in like a crock pot or on a warming plate and stay like good for a while is also solid. We did a charcuterie party once but I call it like a board party where I'm like, just bring whatever kind of board you want. Like it doesn't have to be meats and cheeses. Like if you want to do like a cookie plate, or if you want to do like breads or like pastries, or you want to do like a fruit platter, like whatever works. And that was fun too. Chili without beans for a topping. Okay, that's a good idea too. Okay, like that, Catherine. Really good idea. Tacos, they are good. Okay. I'm going to keep all that in mind. Thank you guys so much. See, this is why we talk about these things. Now, with these shears, you want the blunt ends of the blade to be kind of facing one another and the curved ends to go on the outside. So just like that. Just kind of making sure it's open enough. Yay. And then I probably should take an acrylic block. just to kind of help flatten them. All right. Friendly get-togethers, absolutely. That's what we like to do. So usually what we do is we eat first. Everyone sits and eats. We catch up. We went through a period where like we could only do it once every like 3, 4, sometimes 6 months, and it kind of stunk because we were used to doing it sooner. But we've been doing it a little bit more regularly now, which is great. So we'll eat for a little bit, and then we'll do our dessert. We also try, if we haven't seen each other in a while, to do something. We just call it circle time. And what we mean by that is like we're all sitting kind of around a table and we go like one by one talking about like any important life updates that we may have not texted each other about that's like worth sharing. And it doesn't have to be like the most important of things. Like, of course, that's part of it, but also to like just talking and venting about like work or a family problem or a dilemma with another friend and just kind of talking through it and having a sounding board. And then usually afterwards we'll do our dessert, and then we usually always play games too. Some layer of games. So it's always fun. Ooh, Kahlua pork, that sounds nice. Still thinking of the reference to mac and cheese. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's, I mean, I kind of like that though, like being adults, because you are right. Like circle time definitely is like an elementary school concept of sorts, but I don't know, just like an easy way to put it, like, okay, y'all, we're going to sit, we're going to share, like, let's talk about what's going on. And we've had some circle times that like take a couple minutes because like we've seen each other recently, but when it's been a while, circle time, we've had it take a couple hours. And that's okay. And that's why the food's helpful, you know? Aren't these little spray bottles just the cutest? I wanted to make sure to do the bottles of the spray bottles blue, just because I wanted to make it look like there was actually water in it. So, but I thought the handle would be fun to change around. What games do you like to play? Ooh, so I'm kind of all over. I mean, I like board games. I like board games. I will tell you guys, and this is no surprise to my friends or my husband. One of my least favorite types of games to play are like variations of Apples to Apples or Cards Against Humanity, if you're familiar. I think that those games were really fun, kind of in the beginning when they first came out. But I also get really frustrated because they're subjective. And I like kind of a clear cut set of rules that I know how I can win by. I'm very competitive if you haven't like figured this out yet. And my friends know this about me. So like Cards Against Humanity, Apples to Apples, there's a lot of other games out there that are really similar. My nieces play a kids version that's called Grounded for Life. And it's basically the exact same concept, and like they love it, and I'm just like, it's just not my thing. I don't like those games. I like more like board games. I don't really like cooperative games. This also sounds terrible. Like if I'm gonna win, I kind of want to win on my own. Um, and I'm just being honest with you guys. I'm not like an unfriendly person. I love a good competition. So that's me. All right, so just kind of pop this here. Was that wrong? Did I put the wrong one? I did. All right, now I know. So the little fork-looking one, the thingamabob, is the one with the long handle. And then the little spade is the short handle. There are two size handles. Codenames is so fun. I think we've played that before. Oh, Kristen, I just got okay. Speaking of the Traders game, so we just went to the UK and we went into a bookstore and they had the BBC Traders board game. We just bought that too, so that might be what we're gonna play tomorrow. Very, very excited about that. Very excited. So yeah, games like that. But I'm looking because like our games are in our closet right now, so I'm kind of looking. One board game that I really like to play, and it's very complicated in terms of there's like a lot of setup to it. But if you love horror, it's called Betrayal at the House on the Hill, and it's basically this game where the game starts like. I'm going to give you a very entry level way of how it works. Is it's basically you're building a haunted house, and then like in different rooms you can uncover different items, And eventually one of the items is going to trigger what they call the haunt. And there's like 50 different haunts that you can have. So like 50 different monsters that could show up. And basically one or more of the players turns into the monster. So then you were building out this haunted house and now you've got to like fight this monster and succeed. So it's fun. Sequence. Sounds familiar. All right, so we've got this. Perfect. So anyways, fun games. Cover your assets. That's funny too. Love all of these ideas. When you win, you chant, I'm number one. Okay, that's hysterical. All right, so we're going to put all this under here, just like that, just to kind of add some pressure. And then we're going to put our gnome together. And I do have these little scissors too that we didn't have to ink blend, and that's okay. So now for our gnome, let me try to move this off to the side so we can do this a little better. Now there is a backing piece for the eyes. So I'm going to bop that on. Just like that. And that makes his little eye cutouts just go black out over that. So that's perfect. And then we're going to do his beard. It's not scary. It's actually, there's nothing about it that's scary. It's just got the horror aspect to it. But it's very stressful because basically like, I've never played it where I've become the monster. I've always been part of the group trying to fight the monster. And I'm very grateful for that because I feel like I'd have a lot of stress if I was the monster. But at that point of the game, it's like there's the team fighting the monster and then there's the monster. And both teams only know how they can win the game. They don't know what the other team is trying to do. So you're basically trying to like plan accordingly and everyone's kind of got their own agenda of things. It's fun. I really enjoy it. We played it the last time we got together. That one was like evil spirits, like ghosts basically, is kind of like multiple like spirits kind of entered and it was interesting. It was fun. We won. But like barely. So anyways, all right. So we got these. They're nicely layering. Yay, yay, yay. Hello, Pam. But it's really fun. It's a fun game. I also think there's an add-on expansion to it, Sylvia, with Scooby-Doo characters, which makes it like a little bit more kid appropriate. I also love the board game Ticket to Ride, which is a train game, which is really fun. But I actually like that one better on my iPad. Now that I'm realizing it, it's my phone. I don't have an iPad anymore. But that's a fun train game. Josie, that's okay. That's okay. You get whatever you need. No judgments here. All right, so we're going to do his little yellow shirt, just like that. And then we're going to put his little shoes on. I love Scooby-Doo too, absolutely. Ooh, yeah, I'm going to be hungry for some breakfast after this too. I should have eaten. And little blue shoes. Why did I choose green pants and blue shoes? Because why not? Actually, though, what's interesting is this is actually my decision process, is when everything is layered, it's the order of the colors. So, like, he's got red, yellow, green, blue, and that's like the order it would be on the color wheel. So that was my thought. Isn't he cute? This gnome is just so cute. I know we just took a board game departure, but that's okay. That's what we're here for, right? Fun chit chat. All right. I just wonder. No, I don't want this right up and down like that. All right. Perfect. Now, one thing I also want to do, just because this is kind of easy, he's got this little patch right here on his shirt, and I want to color it with an Olo marker. I'm going with some R0.6. I'm just going to kind of... color in that little patch. Just like that. I think that's really cute. A really fun little detail to add, right? Isn't this gnome cute? Oh my gosh, I agree. I think that this Happy Gnome set is just so wonderful. Okay, so now let me go ahead. I'm going to put all of our little elements to the side. I want to do a little bit of ink splattering before we move on to assembling our background. I know this is taken an hour. This has definitely taken some time. So this is not necessarily a technique that is like going to save you time, but it is a technique that's going to pack quite a punch in the end, and it's going to be super cute. I promise. You'd hope, right? And also, we're doing all of this ink blending. You could skip that part. You could just layer these die cuts and adhere them. And that's totally okay too. Sorry, so I've got all of that. Now, for our background, what I am going to do is let's splatter both of these. I'm going to layer these on top of each other so it's kind of got like a pseudo frame of sorts. And then we're going to take some over coffee. Let me see a little bit more. And then I actually got the new, it's not new, it's new to me. The new, or the splat box. Let me see. So I'm going to put this in here and we're going to use this. That is not what I wanted. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to pick this up. Just sort of splatter. Just like this. I agree that ink blending adds a lot of detail and it really sort of amps up that quality of the card, but sometimes that's not your style and that's okay, or you need to make something quicker, or you don't like doing that much ink blending. It's all about what works for you. This is what works for me, right? All right, so I'm gonna let this dry a little bit. It shouldn't take too long, but this is craft cardstock from Gina K. Oh, got a little bit of splattering. That's okay. I thought I would have been protected. No big deal. This will be fine. This is barely any. All right. I agree, Barbara. It really does take that level of crafting to just like the next level. Now, what? Because it really adds a fun factor to it. I like it a lot. Now, while we're letting our background dry, let's work on our sentiment. And I got to do a little bit of die cutting with that too. So let's see. I need to get some white cardstock. I'm just going to use this. I'm actually going to stamp using 3 different colors. So I'm going to put this in my mini Misty. I'm really excited because I think that this is a really fun technique and it's not that hard to do. So we're going to use the sentiment. This is from the, it's just called Green Thumb. The Green Thumb sentiments, and I'm going to do So Glad We're Friends, which I think is going to be so perfect for this little gnome. So we're going to use this. And I'm going to load it up. And what we're going to do is an ombre stamp. And we're going to focus on the So Glad first. I do have to kind of condition this a little bit more. I did do a test run, and I know that this works, so I have a backup in the case that we have issues, but regardless, I'm going to take some mint tape. I grab my craft towel. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I am going to mask off our sentiment so that all that is exposed is So Glad. So I'm going to then take my lime Rickey ink and I'm going to just kind of put my ink on like the top 2-ish thirds of the So Glad portion. Just like that. And then I'm going to go in with my green 1+ shader. I'm just going to kind of feather this a little bit so those edges aren't super harsh. Just like that. And then I'm going to take off my tape and stamp this. Perfect. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of cleaning. So I'm just going to kind of wipe this off. Try to get all the water off. And then I'm going to put my piece of mint tape back into position. Just like that. And then I'm going to take my Fiesta Blue and I'm going to kind of turn this because I want to do the bottom portion. I just want my hand to be comfortable, and I'm also looking and I didn't do a great job with my tape. That's okay, we can always fix it. All right, so I'm going to kind of push that down, and then I'm going to do the bottom upwards about 2/3 of the way towards the top. Just sort of ink it, not all the way up, just kind of like this. Perfect. And then I'm going to go in and take my blue 1+ shader, just sort of feather it a little bit, kind of taking off a little bit of the ink, just like that. And then stamping the rest, just like this. So we've got a nice So Glad that goes ombre from the green to the blue. And then we're going to clean one more time. See, I think I might still be able to use that. So clean this off one more time. And we're going to flip this. Oh, it's still a little wet. We want to make sure it's dry. And you want to make sure your stamps are dry because if they're still wet, the tape is not going to adhere to it. Oh, yes. Don't want to forget to do that. Absolutely, Sylvia. All right, so we're going to put that down just like this. And then we're going to grab Blackjack Catherine Pooler ink, which is a very dark gray. It's not exactly black. We're just going to stamp this out. Like that. And then stamp. Just kind of push it down for a little bit. Catherine Pooler inks, I feel like, work the best when you apply them for a couple seconds. So then we're going to pull this up. And we have our sentiment that says, "So glad we're friends." And it's multicolored and beautiful. I like this a lot. So, all right, let's put away our brushes and our inks. I think this is super pretty. I just do a little bit of cleanup too. All right. Just like this. I thought so too, Barbara. You guys are so sweet. Thank you. A fun technique to do, for sure. All right. Now let's go in and we're going to die cut this. So I'm going to grab the coordinating green thumb dies. Make sure this comes out. I'm glad, Liz. Ink blending is one of my favorites. I adore doing it. So I'm glad that I know other people enjoy it too, but I'm always happy to see new people get involved with it. And if you guys remember, or maybe you don't know, and that's okay, Scrapbook and Cards Day earlier this year, we did our blending bootcamp all about ink blending. So it's still available for purchase, that you could buy the class. You get to do the replays. It's me, Megan Andrew, Mindy Egan, and Gina Kay. And there's 2 classes per instructor, so it's all 8 classes and you learn a lot of fun techniques. I teach all about backgrounds, but we do stenciling, we do kind of some basics, we do die cuts, blending on die cuts, lots of fun stuff. So you could always snag that class if you're interested. All right, just like that. Perfect. I was originally going to do just a black paper with white heat embossing sentiment, but name of the sentiment pack again. The sentiment that I am using is the Green Thumb sentiment set and coordinating die set. I have it linked as a bundle below so you can get both the stamp and the dies. So it is linked in my description and also that pinned comment in the chat. All right. Perfect. All right. It's back. Now let's go in. I also wanted to do like a little bit of an offset sentiment just to kind of give it a little bit of shadow. So I die cut it from that lemon drop cardstock. And I thought that we could just add a little shadow behind it. I don't want to do this like that. We'll do it like that. So it's on the right and the bottom. Perfect. Just a little extra. Give it a little extra personality. Perfect. Okay. So now we need to just sort of build our background and put everything together. So this is not going to take too long. At least it shouldn't. So we're going to go in and just start kind of adhering our different tools together to make our background pop. And we're also part of this. Some of my elements are going to overlap off the page, and I'm going to snip them off because this just kind of gives your paper a more continuous look. Like I literally cut it from a piece of pattern paper collection. I do want to try and keep this all as level as I possibly can. I don't really want these on angles at all. Just kind of start layering. Sort of putting everything together. I kind of want this to look like if you took a snapshot of someone's garage and they hung all of their tools on like a pegboard. That's kind of what I'm going for. All right. I think that's a fun way of putting it. Oh, you could totally use distress inks. That would be really pretty. Sort of keep on layering. Trying to keep everything as vertically up and down as I can. Awesome. Crisscross shears. Just sort of going in, lots of liquid adhesive. It's okay. This is going to go right here. I also think I could do these right here. No, we're going to keep going. We're just going to keep adding. I think it's a fun background. Like, yes, a tool pegboard. Exactly that. Let's see, what next? What next? We got our scissors. But except I think my scissors would maybe get hung. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Tool peg board. Here we go. I think I'm just going to kind of make sure that all the blades are kind of going in the same direction. I think that'll work. Let's see. Do our little water bottle up here. Super fun, super cute. Love how all of these dies are working together. Trying to not have too many repetitive colors near each other, but also realizing we can only do so much, you know? And that's A-okay. Let's see. Do that down there. And you know what? I'm probably going to have a handful of leftover tools when this is all said and done, too. So that'll be nice to use. Maybe I'll pop them onto another card. I do need to make another one, too. So stay tuned. Not today. Not with this live, but you know. You definitely could use this for a Father's Day card. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's do this. I don't feel like green is showing up as much as I intended, but that's okay. Do green over here. Just sort of keep on layering. Keep on layering. Keep on keeping on. No discount offer, Lori, but there is a couple offers. Waffle Flower does have a free stencil with purchase if you spend at least $50. It's the square postage stencil. It's a pansy design. And then also they if you go to my Instagram, I'm currently doing a giveaway for Waffle Flower for a $20 gift certificate. All you got to do is make sure you're following me on Instagram, like the post, and then follow the instructions. I think you have to tag a friend. Follow me and Waffle Flower, tag a friend, and enter to win. So that's an option. But no, I don't have a discount code, unfortunately. I know last week I had that special Craft of Flower code. Not this week, unfortunately, and that's okay. All right, so kind of pushing this nicely into place right up here. And then I didn't use any of these at all, did I? So we're going to put one of those up there. Just like that. Perfect. And then let's see. Well, now I only have 2 of these left over. I have an idea. So we're going to go in now. We're going to trim off our excess. Just kind of take our scissors along the edge. I'm using my Pro Shears from Spellbinders. My favorite scissors ever. And then let's see, what can we do? I want to add a little bit. We'll probably add something there. Just like this. Just sort of butt it up against the bottom like that. And then let's take our scissors and add those as well. Just like this. I like to kind of trim off those excess edges and then apply them to the paper because I don't have to waste a prepared shape at all. They're all ready to go. I do a little liquid adhesive behind here too, don't I? Just to make sure that's nicely into place. That's also into place. And let's see. Maybe something right there. But I need, what do I need? What was that? Oh, that was that side. We don't want that. Oh, Justin, what are we going to put in that bottom corner? I don't know. Maybe nothing. Yeah, we'll find something. Let's do... Let's see. I just don't want it looking crowded. We'll do this little shovel. Download Instagram again. By all means. By all means. Oh, that's true, Lori. You really could do that. That would be cute. All right, so we're going to go in, add this right here, and then trim it off. Okay, so we've got our little background of all of our little tools, and then we're going to do So Glad We're Friends with our little gnome. Just like that. Kind of have it like, oh, so cute. You could also, too, you could make it go like this, but I want it kind of like that. And then let's get him prepared. Let's get our little area all cleaned off. All right. So we're just going to go in and add a little bit of liquid adhesive over here. And then let's see. Just like that. So glad we're friends. I agree, Lori. Best scissors ever for sure. So we're going to have So Glad We're Friends. Let's do some 3mm foam tape on the back. And then trim off the edges. Just like this. Oh my goodness. How cute is this turning out to be? My gosh. Jennifer, it's really a wonderful release, and there are so many products that work together, so definitely I'm happy to enable. Always, always. All right, and then we're gonna put an extra piece here and here. Awesome, 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 awesome. All right, so now we can start removing our backing, just like that. Isn't it cute with like a pegboard idea? I think it works really nicely. Really, really nicely. All right, just gotta make sure that when I put this into place, it's where I want it to go. Nope. Gotta fix that just a little bit. Just trying to make sure it's nice and centered. So like this and like that. Perfect. So glad we're friends with a little Nomi. Okay, not fully done. Got a couple last things to do. We're gonna take this other piece of cardstock along with some foam tape. Do we have to add a free with purchase square postage, or does it to our cart, or is it automatic? I think it's automatic, if I'm not mistaken. I could always check. But I am pretty sure it's automatic. So I'm going to take, I've got some 1-inch, 1 millimeter black foam tape from scrapbook.com that I want to use just to give this layer a little extra dimension to pop on our backing piece. You guys are all so sweet. Thank you for being here. I don't often ever combine different colors of foam tape. Clearly here I am doing it right now. I just don't have 1 millimeter thick, 1-inch foam tape in white. So I'm like, you know what? The black foam tape is going to work. I know it's going to work. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and remove it. Let's see. I bought the large on sale and I can't believe how great. Really, really great. Really, really great scissors. So we're going to do a little bit of liquid adhesive on the back of my foam tape. Just like that. Just to help give me a little extra wiggle room. And then kind of put it into place. You know, it's not supposed to latch on right away. That's why I use the liquid adhesive. Hold on one second. We're getting there. All right. Perfect. There we go. Awesome. Kind of make sure everything is nudged accordingly. I feel like this needs to go up a little bit. Having a little bit of a difficulty getting this all situated, but we're getting there. All right, that is much better. Perfect. All right, so we've got our card panel. Let's get it onto a card base. Make it nice and smooth. Automatic, it was just added. Perfect, Sylvia. So happy to hear. I hope you've got some fun stuff in your card. This release is wonderful. All right, you guys have just got to hear me kind of bumble around as I'm getting all this adhered, but we are almost there. I agree. No one's ever going to see the black foam part of it, so yay. All right, so we're going to kind of, that one kind of came off. Kind of put that back into place. Hear that down nicely. Just like that. Make sure it's nice and flush against that edge. And then I just got to make sure, I think I'm going to have to trim that edge off, and that's okay. My card base is just a little bit bigger than A2 sized. So we're going to trim that. And then I also have some Botanical enamel dots that I thought would be really pretty to add. So let me grab those and just add a couple to our card. So we're going to go in and we're going to glue down a couple things that are seeming to pop up. Just like that. And then we're just going to add a couple dots. Just to kind of finish this off. Let's see what else. I think these enamel dots kind of work perfectly with this set. Look at that. All right, I think we are all done. Yay! Oh, you're very welcome, Liz. I do think I'm probably going to stick to my 1 o'clock time, but I do like using 10 o'clock as a backup time just because I think it works out a little bit better when I need to reschedule. But isn't this super cute? So I just think that this release is so adorable. We put on so many fun little tips and tricks to really make this pop. I think that this Happy Gnome is just like the cutest little thing, and I'm so happy to see him on my card. And all of these Postage collection add-on tools really make this background pop with all of these different colors. We can't forget about our green thumb sentiment though that we did with some ombre stamping, and I really love how it turned out. Now, I also wanted to show you too, so I did have another card that I created for this release. I shared it yesterday, and this card uses some other products, another one of my favorites from this release. I think this is also really adorable in a totally different way. So this one I used, so the new Pots and Plants die set, which is where I got my little pansy and my tomato plants from. I also used, there is the new plant marker die set that comes with, that's also a stamp set as well. And you get to put these little signs in your plants for sentiments. And I think that they're just like the cutest little things. So I just wanted to show you both of these. I think they're absolutely adorable, and I'm so happy we got to play around with these today. All right, let's go ahead. Let's switch this back to my face. There I am. Oh, all right. Marathon crafting today. It feels like, I just think, isn't this cute? I think it just turned out so adorable, and I love this release from Waffle Flower. Now, don't forget, all the products from today are linked down in the description below. I also have them pinned to the chat today as well, so I know you can't immediately see the link. If you click to expand it, it'll come out and you can see it perfectly. So thank you all so very much for being here today. We had a wonderful live stream together, and I had so much fun creating with you all. I will be back next week. I am planning at 1 p.m. next Saturday. That would be the 13th. Kind of TBD what we're going to be doing. Still kind of working through it. I kind of love being in that position though, because that gives me some creativity to play around with. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel for future inspiration. I will have another video, at least one video coming out later this week with another new release. So I think that's super fun. And then also too, like I said, I do have a giveaway going on Instagram that closes tomorrow for a $20 gift certificate to the Waffle Flower website, which you can use to shop the new release if you so choose. So all you got to do is make sure that you're over on Instagram, find my giveaway post, make sure that you are following both me, Waffle Flower, and tag a friend in the comments. I know it's a lot of instructions, but you'd read it anyway when they're on there. And it's just kind of verbalizing them instead of having you read them. So thank you all so much for joining me at this earlier time today. I had so much fun with you. I think this is live stream number 13. So I'm just loving how we're going with this. I think that this has just been so fun, and I'm excited to see what comes next. So thanks again, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll see you real soon. Goodbye.